Listen, winning is not for everybody. It's not even for most of the people that think they want to win because they're unwilling to do the things that are required to win. It's very simple. Most people want to feel ambitious. They want to feel like they're trying. They want to feel like they're doing shit, but they're not actually doing shit. Okay. And these are the people that buy all the fucking self-help books and they go to all the therapy and they optimize their morning routine, 500 steps. They do everything except the work that's going to move them forward. It's like a criminal. If a criminal took all the effort that they put into trying to scheme and just did it the right way, they'd be a 100 millionaire, bro. They are willing to look at every single thing and do all these things that require all this thinking and all this effort and all this analyzation. If they would just say, I'm just going to do what I got to do every single day to the top of my ability, no matter what, they would become, and all the things that they're dealing with would go away. What is up, guys? It's Andy Frisella, and this is the show for the realists. Say goodbye to the lies, the fakeness, and delusions of modern society, and welcome to reality, guys. Today we have Q&AF. That's where you submit the questions, and we give you the answers. DJ, tell them how they can submit their questions.
Yeah, guys, we want your questions, so please submit them. You can do them a couple of different ways. You can email those questions in to askandy@andyfrisella.com. You can also check the link in the description below, submit them for a chance to be answered, or drop them in the comments of the Q&AF videos right here on this YouTube.
Now, if this is your first time listening, we do have multiple formats of the show. You're going to hear Q&AF right now. Tonight at 7 p.m. Central and Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, we're going to have CTI. That stands for Cruise the Internet. That's where we put topics on the screen. We speculate on what's going on. We interact with the chat. We talk about all kinds of stuff, and we do that live. So that is a live show you can check out tonight, 7 Central on YouTube and X. Other times we're going to have Real Talk. Real Talk is just 5 to 20 minutes of me giving you some real talk. And then sometimes we have 75 hard verses. That's where people who have completed the 75 hard program come on the show. They talk about how they were before, how they are now, and how they use the 75 hard program to transform their lives. If you're unfamiliar with 75 hard, it is the first phase of the Live Hard program. You can get that entire program for free at episode 208 on the audio feed. Again, that's episode 208 on the audio feed. There's also a book. It's called The Book on Mental Toughness. You can get that at andyfrisella.com. One thing about our show, guys, is we rely exclusively on you to grow the show, okay? We don't run ads. We're not part of a network. We just ask very simply that if you get value out of the show, if it makes you think, if it makes you laugh, you help us share it, all right? So don't be a hoe.
Share the show.
All right.
Missed the Wednesdays gig, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got Wednesday nights live as well at 7 Central, which is called After Hours.
Yeah.
And that's just a live stream hangout.
A little midday check-in.
Yeah,
know?
we talk about really whatever you guys want to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, put a little stogie, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good time.
It's a good time, dude. I like those lounge sessions, bro.
Yeah.
They're sick. But yeah, man, tune in. What's going on?
Oh, not much.
Yeah?
Yeah. What's up with you?
Dude, it's hot here.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Yeah.
Did it rain all weekend?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That sucks.
It rained all day yesterday, like
really?
all day. But we
probably
needed it.
good. Yeah, I might get all the salt and shit off the
Yeah.
road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But today,
it's hot.
Yeah, it's a little steamy.
It's a little steamy. It's a little change.
For the middle of winter.
Yeah, no shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick, man. Well, all those well things are good. It is Monday. We are here to make some people better.
Let's do it.
Guys, let's get it. Guys, Andy, question number 1. Andy, I try not to compare myself to other people, but I do. Friends are making more money, building bigger things, posting wins online every day. And even when I'm doing okay, it feels small next to what I see. How do you stay focused on your own path without lying to yourself about where you really stand?
Well, I think there's two kinds of people, okay? I think there's the kind of people that compare themselves and, you know, they look around and they get upset and they say, well, you know, he's doing this or that, and they justify why these people are ahead of them, and they tell themselves all kinds of lies about, you know, well, they must be cheating, or they must be doing this, or they must be doing that, or they must be this or that or this, and then they feel bad. And then they tell themselves some sort of story as to why that person is ahead of them. And sometimes it's true. Like, there's a lot of people out there that are full of shit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that are pretending to be something that they aren't. And sometimes those stories are true. But it really doesn't matter, because there's a second kind of person. And the second kind of person looks at what everybody else is doing, has a moment of feeling bad, and then says, you know what? I'm going to smash every single one of them. I'm going to win so big that they all have to swallow it and admit that not a single one of them was me, and they couldn't do what I did. And they get up and they go to work. Okay. And there's only one group of those people that actually win. All right. So there's this big thing on the internet where they say, comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is bad. Comparison is the thief of joy if you're not willing to get up and compete. Okay? Comparison is the thief of joy when you're doing nothing and you notice that other people are doing things and it steals your joy, which it should. Okay? This whole idea, 99% of the shit that's told to you online is told to you with the idea of pacifying the lazy that lives inside of you. If you watch all these feel-good people and you listen to what they say, and then you remember that there's a much bigger market for victims than there are for actual doers, then their content will make sense. Okay? When you hear them say all of this feel-good shit, when you hear them make all these excuses and tell you not to do these things, how many of those people are actually going to go out and win? The answer is hardly any of them. They're going to go from event to podcast to mastermind to personal coaching, looking for the answer that doesn't exist, okay, that they don't want to admit is the real path forward, which is figuring out what it is you want to do and then dedicating your entire life to making that happen. This idea of winning being some sort of casual endeavor is poison to our culture. And we deal with it all the time. We see all of these people saying all of this shit that is completely untrue when it comes to actually winning. It might make you feel good in the moment. It might make you feel a little bit better about losing, but that's not going to fix your problem. Okay? So when we talk about like comparing people, first of all, you want to be in that second group of people. You want to be in the group of people that say, I don't give a fuck what they're doing because I'm doing what I'm doing. And I know in the long term, what I'm doing is going to beat what they're doing now.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. You want to be that person. But the other reason that comparison is the thief of joy is such a bullshit statement is because if you don't compare yourself to other people, how do you know where you're weak? How do you know where you're strong? How do you know where you line up? How do you know what you need to work on? See, there's practicality to this that gets ignored because people can't even admit that another person might be doing more than them, or might be winning more than them, or might know things they don't know, or might be executing in a way that they aren't familiar with. Okay? And when you say, don't compare my life to anybody else's, let's be real, man. It's a justification for you to accept what it is you don't even want. Okay? So let's be real about this. This is bullshit. If you want to win, you got to compare yourself. If you want to win long term, you got to understand what they're good at and you got to be better than that. You can't do that if you can't acknowledge what other people are doing because you're afraid to. You can't do it. Okay? Do you think that Nick Saban doesn't compare himself when he was coaching to other teams? You don't think they look at other teams and say, okay, well, these guys are good. These guys are good here. They're good there. They do this well. We got to prepare for that. You don't think he does that? That's a natural part of any single person that is competitive in anything. You don't think Michael Jordan, back when Michael Jordan was kicking ass, didn't understand every single other player on the team? Yeah. You don't think he knew exactly which way the guy could pass better? You don't know which side of the court he shot from? We know these things. Competitors know these things. They have to know them. It's their business. And if you're serious about winning, you should be comparing yourself in a way that helps you move forward. Now, is there a way that keeps you exactly where you are? Yeah, that's called being a loser. Okay, that's called looking at other people and saying, well, their parents had some money, or they started out on third base, or they hit social media when it was hot, or they had this thing that I didn't have, or they didn't have this thing that I have, and they start telling themselves all this shit to feel good about where they are, when in reality, the whole reason they're even reading the content or going to the seminar or listening to the podcast is because they know they're not okay where they are. So what the fuck are we doing? Okay? Here's what you guys need to realize. There's a whole bunch of people out there that claim they're trying to make you better when really they're just trying to make their business better. Okay? They're trying to pacify the masses. They're trying to talk to the victims. Victims are never going to step up and become what it is that they could and should and can become, because they are unable to take responsibility that the thing that they call happen to them is actually usually a result of the poor decisions that they made in the past. Are there things that maybe they didn't decide that, maybe they were born without legs, or yeah, there's things like that. Okay. But that's not you. Let's be real. It's not. And every time you look at someone and you say, oh, he's got this and that, that's your little bitch voice making excuses as to why you can't and why they are, and none of it's true. Okay? So when we talk about this comparing thing, you guys need to switch your frame around how you compare. Okay? Do you compare and then feel bad? Like you're saying in the thing, oh man, like dude, when I was building my business, okay, think about this. The first 3 years I made zero money. Like $0. I started when I was 19 years old. Okay, so that's 19, 20, 21. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, I made $695 per month for a total of $58,380 per year. Okay, every single one of my friends, every single one was making more money than me 10 years in. All of them. Do you know what I did? I didn't sit there and think, oh man, dude, they're all doing better than me. You know what I thought? Give me another few years. Give me another few. Because I can promise you, I'm never going to live my life on a $80,000 a year salary. It's not going to happen. Okay? So you have to have a little bit of you. All right? And a lot of you guys need to cultivate that and develop it and understand, like, all right, cool, they're doing this. Well, then I'm going to do whatever it takes to do that. Competition is a core of every single great person that's ever lived. The people that you admire the most, the people that you look up to, the people that you want to be like, they compare themselves. They may say they don't because they want to sound enlightened and like they're at peace.
That's right.
You can't get there without doing it. Okay?
They all got that dog.
Yes. Yeah. They all got it. And they try to get it out of you so that they don't have any competition, and you can keep buying their Poor Me books and listen to their Poor Me podcasts and listen to their feel good tweets about all this shit. Like, look at the comments of some of the shit that people write and just read them. And you're like, holy shit, every single person here is fucked. Do you want to be one of those or not? That's what you got to answer yourself. So the end of the day, guys, this whole thing, there's a lot of bad information that you get fed that is not congruent with the reality of building, creating, becoming, and winning. That's the truth. And if you want to win and you want to be great, you better compare yourself, and you better compare yourself the right way. And you better know how to handle the emotional distress and the doubt and the frustration that comes from comparing yourself to someone and realizing that they're better than you. Okay. And then being mature enough to say, okay, well, that's me. I got to take action and move forward. That's how it should be handled.
Yeah. I feel like there's also a maturity thing too, right? Like if I see somebody, okay, hey, what are you doing, dude? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you doing that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where does that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't feel like people are truly like holding on, like, because there's really no secrets.
There is no secret.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're probably just doing something a little different than you are.
Yeah, there's practicality to that, right? Yeah. You want to ask them. Also, you don't know how long they've been doing it.
Right.
Also, maybe they're 10 years older than you. Also, blah, blah, blah. Also, there's all kinds of shit you don't know, but that doesn't matter. All you got to do is look at what they're good at and get better than them. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay? And if you don't have that capacity, you just don't have what it takes to win. And you got to realize that. Like, you should stop reading this content about winning. You should stop listening to this podcast. You should stop going online. You should unplug and go live your life. Because, dude, the problem with this whole hustle culture shit, which, by the way, that's not the enemy, okay? The problem is that you have people who have figured out how to market it right, okay? It's really hard to market, hey, man, it's going to take real long, and it's going to be hard, and you're going to go crazy, and you're going to lose all your friends, and then you're going to make new friends, and then you're going to lose them again, and you're probably going to lose some girlfriends, and you might get divorced, and, you know, there's all kinds of things that are going to happen. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, these things.
I wasn't hear that shit.
No. What do I say? Hey, by the way, that's $5,000 a month.
That's right.
You know, and then another thing to go with you guys. You guys paying these idiots that have never built anything to teach you something just shows that you don't have the intelligence to win. Okay? When you look at somebody who's 22 years old or 25 years old or 30 years old and you can't see their business, you can't see it. Okay? You don't know where it's all. Remember, you know, you ever notice all these guys got mystical businesses?
Yeah.
You ever notice all these companies they have that nobody knows about?
Yeah, they're in Wakanda.
Right.
Yeah.
But you understand? I got this company, and I got this company, and I got this company. We did $500 million. Okay. Let's see it. All right. You guys don't dig far enough because you want them to have the answer. You want to believe that they have the quick fix. And so you don't dig and you don't use your common sense. You guys that pay these people who have never really built anything and they're just flossing some lifestyle that they rent to teach. Dude, you guys are the dumbest ones out there. And then these people love to say, well, I got scammed. Yeah, you deserve to because you're stupid. Okay, that's the truth. Nobody wants to talk about that.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to talk about the responsibility of the person who's actually trying to buy the quick get rich scheme.
Yeah, you got some onus on this too.
Hold on.
Yeah.
This guy's selling you a scheme, and you know it's you're hoping it's a scheme, and then the scheme doesn't work for you, and now he you. You're just as up as that guy. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and then they get on the internet like, this guy scammed me. No, you scammed yourself, dumbass. So, like, dude, the point is there's probably like 5 people that are qualified to teach you how to win on the internet. That's really the truth.
Yeah.
And they're none of the people like, yeah, dude, if they don't have real shit that you can see, you have no business at all paying them any money for shit.
That's real, bro. That's real, man. Guys, Andy, question number 2. Andy, my company is growing, but I'm still involved in almost everything. For context, we do high-end landscaping and lighting. I know I need to delegate more, but I don't trust the people to do it at the level I would. How do you get over this fear, and what protections did you put in to make sure the fuckery didn't mess up everything?
Well, usually the reason that first of all, you got to understand when you delegate, usually they're going to do about 80% as good as you ask them to do. That's if they're good. All right. So the way to protect yourself is to create defined standards, a defined framework around exactly what is the win, what is the standard, how should things be done. And then it has to be enforced, okay? You won't ever, and it doesn't matter if it's landscape or any other business, you won't be able to scale it without the proper systems in place. And the reason that you probably feel like there's going to be chaos is because not everybody understands the defined standard, all right? The standard has to be very clear. It has to, in your case, this would be you going out and taking literal photographs of how shit should be, tutorial videos about how shit should be, showing people exactly how it's done, documenting those things, putting them into a defined win document. This is the standard, and making your people sign the standard. So that way, if you don't meet the standard, this is what happens, and make them sign the document. That way, when you go to a job site and you see plants that are halfway sticking out or paver stones that aren't put in right, you could pull out your document and you could be like, does this look like that?
Right.
Is that your name?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
There has to be systems. And as you start to scale out with these systems, the standard starts to become plugged in and known. So you start the other teammates and everybody else starts to hold the line, because they know that if you come on the site and you find the paver stones up, that they're going to have to do it over, and they're not going to get paid for it. Okay?
Yeah, they don't like that.
No, they're not going to like it. So once that standard is in place, it spreads and people accept it, and they understand that this is how I should operate at all the times. And if you're smart, you build this not around punishment, but around the purpose of what we're doing. We are here to be the best. We are the best. We do things better than everybody. We are going to make everybody else's work look like shit. And the good thing is with landscaping is that a lot of people that do landscaping take a lot of pride in how the outcome looks.
Yeah.
So when you set this standard and you start to operate on this standard for a while, it will set, and then you'll be able to scale. Okay. No company can scale without defined standards. It's impossible. And most small businesses have a hard time thinking like, how do I define the standard? Dude, it's real simple. Like, if you don't have this, you don't got to make this, this doesn't have to be some high tech, professional document, bro.
$50,000.
Like,
yeah.
Do what you can. You got AI now. Okay. Go take the pictures, plug them into AI and say, make me a sheet of a standards document, tell it what you're trying to do and have it make it for you. Okay. Like, this doesn't take a lot of time, especially now. And if you're operating any business at all without without a very clear set of operational standards, you just cannot scale. Okay. Systems scale. Nothing else scales.
Yeah.
All right. Chaos does not scale. You pointing your finger and saying, do that, move that doesn't scale.
Are you going to do it yourself?
That doesn't scale.
Yeah.
What scales is systems, and you've got to learn how to develop them. And I know that sounds complicated to people who've never done that before, but just like when I started in business, you could start very simply. Okay. We started with a checklist. Here's the things that have to be done to open a store, run a store, close a store every single day. You got to check this shit off and you got to sign it every day. Okay. That's as simple as it gets. Everybody can do that. And then that will scale out over time, and you'll get to a place where, eventually you've got a full system that regulates standards. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I mean, it sounds scary, but it's really not. And everybody goes through this. I went through this when we opened up our second store. We went from one store to two stores. As stupid as it sounds, that was the hardest thing for me to ever do in business, because I was so afraid of everybody it up. But what I didn't realize is we really didn't have anything to up at the time. You know what I mean? Back then, I thought we did.
Yeah.
But, and now when people walk in, right, and they walk into this building and they see this building, the other building, and all these people and all this shit, and, S2's headquarters, and all, and they'll always say, they're like, how the do you do all this? It's all systems, bro. It's all systems. People know what they got to do. It's clearly defined. They do it. And once your company becomes mature and everybody starts to understand what the systems are, then it becomes a truly locked in standard that people can identify without even having to check the system, right?
Yeah.
Like other peers will hold the other peers accountable. They'll say, well, that's not how we do it here.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I know you also talk too often about like irrational fears. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're going to have, you're scared. I'm scared my employee's going to steal from me.
Yeah, they're going to.
Right? I'm afraid they're going to, quit on me.
They're going to.
Right? And so like, in this situation, this guy's trying to find somebody who who I guess he can trust to put that delegation? How much are you investing? Like, how do you find that person? Like, are you like,
well, what are you going to delegate if you don't have systems?
Yeah.
Delegating is easy when people know what to do.
Yeah. Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Like what's hard is delegating and the person not knowing what to do and hoping they do it right.
Right.
Like you got to put the systems in before you delegate.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I want you to bake a cake. Okay? Here's the cake I want you to bake.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
That's right.
All right?
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
It's very simple.
Yeah, and it's just funny because I also think too is like people always like, you know, like the guys you have, like your C-level guys, right? Like dogs, right? But it's like, I guess the question is like, how did you find those people? But it's like you didn't. Like those people
built themselves.
Yeah, right.
Through the system.
Right.
They executed the system perfectly. They're great. They hold the standard. They move up.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
That's why it's so important to have that shit in place.
Yeah, you got to have they got to know what to do before you tell them what to do.
Yeah.
Okay? And you telling them what to do, like I said, they're going to do 80% of it. If you want them to do 100, they got to know exactly what to do.
I love it. Love it, man. Guys, Andy, let's get
it should become like the way. Okay? Like I don't know what your company's name is, like Steve's Landscaping.
Yeah.
At Steve's Landscaping, this is how the we do shit here. Okay? We do shit like this. When you hold a high standard, eventually that works into your brand standard. Okay, which becomes equitable because the brand gets identified as a top quality brand.
Yeah.
It's very important. All right. So think of it like this. This is how we do things. That's where you want it to get to. And it will if you define it early.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense, dude. It makes perfect sense. Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Guys, Andy, question number 3. Let's get to it. Andy, I've realized something about myself that I don't love. Whenever things start to go well, more attention, more opportunity, more responsibility, I instinctively shrink a little. I'll procrastinate, distract myself, or downplay it. Like, it's like part of me is uncomfortable being seen at a higher level. Why do people sabotage right when things start working, and how do you stop doing that?
I don't know. I've never done that. I think that's a bullshit. I think that's another bullshit thing that people say. I just think
you don't think this is real?
No.
Okay.
Why the would you get an opportunity and then shrink down and not take it? Why would you get an opportunity that comes to you that you are so excited about and worked so hard for, only to quote unquote not execute? What the is wrong with you? This is what you asked for. This is what you want. You should be running full speed. Okay. I can't relate to that. I get asked that self-sabotage shit all the time. And I don't understand what they're even, I really honestly, and I mean this, I don't understand what they're saying. I just don't get it. I don't get it. What do you mean you're self-sabotaging? What do you mean? You asked for the opportunity. You wanted the opportunity came to you, and now you're not going to take it? What? Why? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
I don't even know, like.
Is it a confidence thing, dude? Like,
no, I can't answer the question because I don't know what the means. I can't answer the question because I don't know what it means.
Yeah.
What do you mean self-sabotage? Like, what does he mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
What do you think he means?
Yeah, it sounds to me like it's a confidence thing, man. Like you're not confident in your abilities to go through with it, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't believe in yourself. Like it sounds like a inner issue here. Like there's something personal going on there. I personally,
let me ask you
I can't
something.
relate to it.
Let me ask you something. Okay, let's say it is that. Let's say you get some new responsibility.
Yeah.
And you don't exactly know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you think the Wright brothers knew what the they were doing?
They put cardboard and shit
They
together?
threw some cardboard together and said, let's run this bitch down the
That's right.
runway and see if it works.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Here's the thing. Think back to any job that you've ever had. Ever. Did you learn it in training or did you learn it on the job? You learned it on the job. And it doesn't matter, bro. Doctors go to med school for 12 years and then they get in the hospital and they actually learn shit.
Right.
Okay. So it's a learning experience. You're going to learn more by doing than you'll learn by anything else. Okay. So there's that. Why else would it be?
Yeah.
No, Google.
People ask this.
Yes. I don't know what the f it means.
Yeah. Huh. What is self-sabotage? Dude, I love this.
I think it's, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the definition is it refers to the intentional or unconscious behaviors, thoughts, and actions that undermines a person's own goals, success, and well-being. It acts as a self-imposed barrier, often driven by fear of failure, fear of success, or low self-worth.
No. Look, bro, this is why you got to have a system. This is why. Okay? This is why we have the operator standard tech with Arcane and all the shit. This is why. If you run your system, okay, and you're basing your wins on a 24-hour day. All right, you got 5 critical tasks every single day. You win or you lose based on those critical tasks being executed, regardless of how you feel. All right, now you get this, and that's how you live. Because that's how I live, and maybe this is why I can't understand it, because I don't deal in those things. Like, I deal in what I did or didn't do. So, if you've started to install a personal operating system that you execute on no matter what, no matter how you feel, no matter what's going on, then it forces you to keep moving down the pipe when new responsibility is piled on top of you. You don't have time to think or analyze or self-sabotage when these are just things that you have to get done to win the day.
Yeah.
So probably my misunderstanding of this concept comes from the fact that I've lived on a personal operating system for my whole professional life, which I give to you guys in the operator standard. It's not open right now, but when we get the MVP dialed in, it will be. But this is why you have to work on a system, because systems scale. It doesn't matter if you're feeling like a fraud, if you got to get this shit done today for it to be a win. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like,
I wonder, I was thinking, like, when you bought your first nice car, you know what I'm saying? Because I think I think it was on the MFCO, you told the story how, like, you didn't really want to drive it, or, like, you didn't want nobody to see you had it.
Yeah.
Do you think that's kind of similar? You know what I'm saying? Because you're like, or
I hadn't shifted into my new identity fully and got comfortable with it yet. That could be a thing, but that doesn't mean you stop.
Right.
That doesn't mean you hesitate.
Right.
That doesn't mean you quote unquote self-sabotage. Or you need to realize that if you don't take the opportunity, you're probably not going to get another one. But this is why I believe in systems over emotions or feelings or any of this other shit. At the end of the day, bro, winning comes down to what you did versus what you didn't. It is it. It's 1 + 1 = 2. It is binary. Okay. You did or you didn't. And if you did, even though you're feeling like a fraud and you're having hesitation, you don't feel, it doesn't matter because you did it. Okay. If you didn't do it, it doesn't matter if you feel like you're the king of the world and the baddest ass on the planet. You still didn't do it. So these feelings are irrelevant. And this way that you feel about your life is irrelevant. You need to adopt a daily framework of execution that forces you forward regardless of how you're feeling. Okay. I personally, I'm just being real, and people probably think I'm bullshitting this. I can't relate to the self-sabotage thing, dude. I can't relate to it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, you're going to tell me, y'all must not have starved long enough. Y'all must not have been broke, because I remember what it's like to be broke. I remember what it's like to not have any money. I remember what it's like to not have shit, and I hated it. And I wanted anything more than that. Okay. So yeah, maybe I did walk into rooms and raise my hand for things that I didn't know what I was doing, but I did that because I needed to get away from where I was. And I didn't let things, there's been, like, bro, you think when I started this company way back in 1999, I knew anything about supplements? I didn't know shit, bro. The first customer that came in that was a real customer, not my friend, I remember it perfectly. He came over. He asked me, he says, hey, what do you think of this? And it was a product called Celtec. And I'm like, I don't know. I pick up the fucking bottle and start reading it to him. I'm like, well, it says here you could gain this and this and this, and it does this, and this sounds pretty cool.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Like, that's where I started.
Yeah.
Like, but I didn't sit there and be like, oh man, I'm so unqualified for this. Like, it didn't even hit my mind until the was in the store asking me that I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it says it says right here, dude.
Yeah. So like, you just got to go and you got to do the best you can.
Yeah.
And you got to be willing to make some mistakes and look stupid and understand. But for this person, you've got momentum and you're like, oh, I don't know bro, what the fuck? This is what you've been working for. What are you doing? Okay, you need to be running full speed. I hate to break it to y'all, but the opportunities to win, the window is closing. Okay, you don't have time to hesitate. You don't have time to feel, I'm self-sabotaging myself. You don't have that time. You don't have time right now. You don't have time for balance right now. You don't have it. The window is closing. The world is changing. Those that adapt are going to win, and those that don't are going to be poor. That is reality right now. And if you do not accept that reality, you might as well accept being in the latter group, the poor group, the group that's going to struggle their whole life. You think you're struggling with, I got an imposter syndrome, and I don't know, I don't have the. You think that's a struggle? Wait till you can't eat. That's a struggle, okay? Some of y'all really must not have spent much time there. You must not know what it's like to have nothing, because you're about to if you keep around with this stupid shit like, oh, I don't feel qualified to do it. Nobody's qualified. Nobody has confidence. You know how they get confidence? By moving regardless of how they feel and then figuring it the fuck out. And then they look back and they're like, I can't believe that even stopped me. You don't think I look back at me going from 1 to 2 stores and laugh at myself and be like, wasted 5 years doing that? I could have done that and right away it would have been fine.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, even with your knowledge of supplements and shit now, right? Like, you have that knowledge now, you know all the whole business. You know every product out there. You know what I'm saying? Like at a chemical level, right? Like,
yeah,
you understand.
Well, that's from doing it for 20. Listen, dude, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I've forgotten more about nutritional supplements than most people will ever know.
Yeah.
But I don't even talk about it, so they don't even assume that I really know the shit.
Yeah, right.
Okay?
Right.
But I spent my whole life doing it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you just got to go, and all the shit to make you qualified will come, and then you'll gain confidence by saying, man, you know what? I didn't know what I was doing, but I figured it the fuck out. And then the next time that situation comes up, because that's going to come up a whole bunch, you're going to be like, well, you know what? I figured it out last time. I'll figure this out too. And then you get real comfortable with uncertainty.
Yeah.
And I hate to tell you this, but this is the truth. The most successful people in the world are the most comfortable with being uncomfortable. Okay? They are the people that can operate with uncertainty. They are the people that can go and have courage regardless of if the outcome is guaranteed or not, because they have confidence in themselves that they will make the outcome so. Okay? So we have to understand that all this new age, pussified nonsense that you read online will keep you broke. That is for other people. That is for victims who want to feel like they're actually doing something without actually doing anything, which is most people. It's really hard to feel bad about your life when you're doing everything you know you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like when you know and you look at yourself in the mirror and at nighttime and you say, I did everything I'm supposed to do, you can't feel bad.
No. If you actually did it.
Yeah, you're not going to feel bad. It's impossible. The reason all these people are looking for the solution to feel good is because they're unwilling to do the one thing that will actually make them feel better, because it requires effort and it's not comfortable and it requires courage. You have to go without guarantee of success. That's why people flock to this shit, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Ain't nothing sexy about that.
Oh, man, you know, well, then sit on the bench. Holy shit, man.
Nosebleeds, dog.
Dude, for real.
Those tickets sale too?
Listen, winning is not for everybody.
Yeah, man.
It's not for everyone, okay? It's not even for most of the people that think they want to win, because they're unwilling to do the things that are required to win. It's very simple. It is very simple. Most people want to feel ambitious. They want to feel like they're trying. They want to feel like they're doing shit, but they're not actually doing shit. Okay. And these are the people that buy all the and they go to all the therapy and they optimize their morning routine, 500 steps. They do everything except the work that's going to move them forward. If they took, it's like a criminal. If a criminal took all the effort that they put into trying to scheme and scheme and scheme and scheme and scheme and just did it the right way, they'd be a 100 millionaire, bro.
Oh, yeah.
And so would these motherfuckers, okay? They are willing to look at every single thing and do all these things that require all this thinking and all this effort and all this analyzation. When if they would just say, it, I'm just going to do what I got to do every single day to the top of my ability, no matter what, they would become, and all the things that they're dealing with would go away. That's the truth. Okay? Oh, well, what about mental health? Your mental health will be a lot better when you're winning, bro.
It's a fact. That's a fact.
What do you know, there's no greater stress than financial stress.
Bro.
None. Financial stress is the worst. You're not willing to get away from that? You think you're going to therapy your way out of feeling under the boot of financial pressure? No way. You have two options. Sell all your shit and live within your means so that you don't have the financial stress, or go out and win and not have to worry about it. Then you get to do whatever the fuck you want and you got the money. I would recommend that. Okay? But what do I know?
Yeah. I love it, man. I love it, dude.
Dude, it's just frustrating, dude. It's like you watch these people and you're like, they're trying to fix a problem that comes from them not doing or becoming or creating the life that they want. And they're willing to do anything to feel better about the problem, except solve the problem.
It's like, do you really want it to go away? Do you really want the problem
No, they
to go
don't.
away?
They don't want the problem to go away. They just want, look, dude, there's a difference between winning and wanting to feel like you're trying to win. And it's just two different things. And most people are in the latter category.
Yeah.
They want to, they don't want to be looked at as somebody who's like just lazy. They don't want to be, you know, like, you know, and then they got all this pressure and all this anxiety and all this stress from being poor and fat and out of shape and nothing of what they actually want for themselves. And then even worse, what do they start telling themselves? I'm good where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm perfect the way I am. No, the fuck you're not. Okay.
Febreze on shit, dog.
Bro, it's still going to smell like shit. You know, like, dude, it's just a ocean of justification and self lying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, bro, do the shit. I really like, I don't know. I have a hard time relating to it, dude. I really don't get it. And maybe that's because I've lived on both sides of it. You know, maybe it's because I know how much better your life is when you actually dig the in and do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most people don't know that.
Yeah.
You know, that's why you have people who are 100 pounds overweight and they don't notice. They're like, how you feel? I feel okay. I feel fine.
Mm-hmm.
No, you feel like shit. You're just so used to it. You don't realize how shitty you feel.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it's the same thing when they're broke. It's the same thing when they're, you know, it's the same thing, bro. You acclimate to that level and then you're comfortable there. And, you know, it's not what you really want. But yet you're unwilling to do the things that are actually going to change it. So why is it so important to you for everybody to think you're trying to win?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it so important for you to pretend like you're trying to get better? Why don't you just go be one of them?
Mm-hmm.
Just delete all the podcasts, delete all the personal development shit, throw the personal development books in the trash, and just live your life. Okay? Like, just go do it. There's nothing wrong with that. You're never going to be happy. But you're certainly never going to be happy if you think that you're going to become this thing that you never become and you're not willing to do the work. So.
It's real, man.
Yeah, man.
Real, man. Guys.
I mean, it's scary to think how many people waste their whole lives, bro,
Yeah.
thinking like what they're going to do one day.
Hmm.
I'm going to do this one day.
You're going to die. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, I think that's another thing. You know, I think a lot of people have never dealt with a true, like, near-death experience where they realize how fast it could be over. And that's probably another thing that keeps people where they are.
Yeah.
That's something that I think changed my mentality. I know it did.
Yeah, you've had a few.
Yeah, too.
Yeah. Makes you think different.
And it does. Makes you think totally different because you know it can be over in a second. So your urgency goes way the up, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, that's real, man. That's real. Yeah, man. Well, guys, Andy, that was 3.
Yep. All right, guys. We will see you tonight, 7 p.m. Central for CTI Live. Don't be a hoe.
Share the show.